Hello y'all, this is the Hearts of Iron 4 mod Falling Star. It takes place in an alternate history world 66 million years ago during the Cretaceous era, in the decade before the asteroid landed that wiped out the dinosaurs. We are on the country select screen now, and let's take a look at these countries from left to right. So we have Ember, Dracanium, Ascension, Bashtia, the Godless Empire, Sol Setter, and the Order of Siloth. And this mod has a lot of dragon related stuff in it, I can tell, which is interesting. Before we even get to the map of this mod, let's go to custom game rules and just see this special asteroid setting. And it is recommended that it's on because it will enable the asteroid apocalypse mechanics. And if it isn't on, if it's disabled, it will permanently lock you out of some paths and can cause other gameplay issues. Though I imagine if it isn't on, you can kind of not get hit with the apocalypse and the world ending, I guess. We're messing around as the Godless Empire, and it looks like they have their very own parliament decision mechanics, which is fascinating. They look very well made, and I think this mod was developed by the Shaky, at least going by the Steam Workshop page for Falling Star, and they are a HOI4 YouTuber, so this setting is of their design, it appears, if I'm going by that anyway. And I imagine I would assume they had some help from some other people, so very good work by both them and the developers there. And let's go to our technology tree as the Godless Empire. Technology looks about the same as it would in vanilla HOI4, but what catches my eye here is the 4 different ideologies in this mod that kind of replace democracy, communism, and non-aligned, and fascism. I don't know, they're not exactly the same, but they're replacing them in a way from vanilla HOI4. There's still only 4 ideologies in this mod, but let's see what they each are. So let's start with modernism. And modernist. I gotta find a modernist state first. Let's go with the Robin scan here. They're modernist. It says, the way to the future, the denial of authoritarian and radical systems to ensure a prosperous and peaceful future. Large investments in the public works and science. This is modernism, what the followers of it call the peak of dragon achievement. First popularized in the Republic of Bashtia and spread far and wide before its defeat to the Godless Empire. And that is modernism in this world, or modernist at the very least. Let's try and find a 2-society state now. We have Nakia here, and it says, for the description for 2 societies, the world is built on the 2 societies. The first society, the Society of Fire, and the second society, the Society of Gold. Balance between these 2 societies is required to liberate civilization from the chains of the first society without enslaving it to the other. These teachings have been interpreted in many ways, creating both authoritarian regimes and anarchist communes. And where is revivalist? Okay, the Godless Empire, they are revivalist, and it says here for their ideology, and it goes like this. During the climax of the 3rd Dragonopolis crisis, the war for the core, the Godless Empire, against all odds, destroyed the world order set up over centuries by the Republic of Bashtia. Its attempt to replace this order was unsuccessful, and now various factions of the Empire seek to revive it and finally take a hold of the world now, free from Bashtian influence. Other nations simply seek to replace the Godless Empire with their own imperial order. Then finally we have divine liberation, and where is a divine liberation state? Okay, here we go. And it says here, okay, divine liberation, party ideology. For dragons to be truly free, they must be liberated from the stress of the state. They must be freed from the understanding of the complicated reality they live in and allowed to simply live. The divine liberator, rather they be a monarch or dictator, takes on the burden themselves as they give their life in the service of the people. And that is the 4 different ideologies of Falling Star: modernist, 2 societies, revivalist, and divine liberation. And with that done, let's go on a little world tour and try and just briefly check out each of the different countries in this big world. Let's start with the nation of Apocalyptica in the far north, and they are busy fighting the Order of Siloth at the beginning of the mod, and they are revivalist, and you can kind of get a feel for each country by their ruling ideology. And continuing to the south now, we have the Order of Siloth, Vyland, Starkia, the Cove of Knowledge, Sol Sather, Roldheim. There's a bunch of fantasy names here. I may miss a few countries, hopefully I don't. Palace Lands, the Godless Empire, the Imperial Vice Spire, who is a puppet of the Godless Empire, the Grand Duchy of Sideria, that's the Vice Spire, Alandar, Yellow Riverine Horde, Duchy of Dawn Marsh, and then there is the High Kingdom of Duchev. I think a lot of these countries are led by different, they consist of different variants of dragons, but I don't think everything in this world is dragon. I could be wrong though. Then there is the Realm of Prince Aro, the Marian Alliance, then there is Finstia, Runia, Suzna, and we're kind of getting into the sphere of influence of Bastia, who is modernist, and nearly every country, I think almost every country around them is modernist. Hanbei is here, the Mythian Steel Mines, the Volcanian Republic, Jaxa, Resonat, Banking Federation, that's a country, Democratia, and Brundium, Purex, and there's Bastia continuing. Moving to the south now, the Flare Authority, the Holy Dragons of the Flare, and is this like a fantasy holy order? Maybe it is. And going over to the right, there is Ascension, and the Pearl Islands, Dracotopia is a thing, and then there's this little country called the Ancient Shores, which I wonder if that's their full extent of their territory. If so, they're very small. And going back up to this main continent now, we have, the continent featured in this mod anyway. I don't know if it's just one in this big world, or if it's just more. We don't have the entire map, I guess. But let's see here. Godless Empire. There is the Swords of Ivia, who's a puppet of Nakia, and the Ember Draconian's a thing. There is the Outer Lands Coalition, the Collective, the Ice Empire, the Knightdom of Arium, the Immal Binate, the New Imperium, the Providence of Tevos, Vervia, who is this? The Core Constituencies, which is led by a building, very nice. Continuing now, Federation of Azaria, the Kabaro State. This mod does have like 15 focus trees in it at this time of recording for different countries, but there is also, say, like a generic focus tree as well, just for the record, specifically made for this mod. Then there's the Amber Kingdom, the Everglades Republic, there is the Alden Forma, yes, there's some Land of Ascension, the League of Briet, what's this, the Great Forest of Ire, there's Dragon Ireland, but they're made of trees, basically. I'm joking, but that is just an interesting name choice. And is their leader the same? Okay, moving on. There is Severia, the Cult of the Unseen, and then there is the Knightdom of Arium, who I may have pointed out before, Romanskan, Fenrile, this is like some island place, the Nerva Expeditionary Force, who is a puppet of Nerva across the body of water there, Severia, then there is the Odd Dynasty Regency, and finally, in the very far northeastern part of the map is the Farasha Sultanate, and I believe that's every country in this mod. And with that, this has been Falling Star. If you enjoyed this mod, you can check it out in the video description. The link to it is there. If you enjoyed this video itself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.